Welcome to This Explainer. Grab your magnifying glass because today we are putting on our detective hats to investigate a massive copyright lawsuit surrounding two of the biggest pop songs of the last decade. If you've turned on a radio at any point recently, you definitely know Miley Cyrus's mega hit Flowers. And if you have any memory of the early 2010s, you absolutely remember Bruno Mars's heartbreak ballad When I Was Your Man. Today we're putting both of these massive tracks right under the microscope.
Okay, let's dive right into this dramatic accusation. In late 2024, a lawsuit was filed by Tempo Music Investments, a company that owns a share of the copyright to Bruno Mars's 2013 hit, I Needya. Now, interestingly enough, Bruno Mars himself actually isn't named as a plaintiff here, but Tempo Music is claiming that Flowers intentionally copies the melodic pitch design, the bass lines, the chord progressions, and the lyrical elements of When I Was Your Man. They're literally arguing that Miley's smash hit simply would not exist without Bruno's song.
So, that leads us to the million-dollar question. Did Miley really steal Flowers? To find out the truth, we're going to act as musical forensic experts today. We'll objectively examine the evidence, starting with those very obvious lyrical echoes, and then we're going to dig into the hard math behind the music, specifically looking at how the tempos and the chord progressions of these two songs actually stack up. Which brings us to clue number 1, the lyrical echoes. The internet instantly noticed the connection between these tracks the second Flowers dropped, so let's examine the scene of the alleged crime. The lyrics brilliantly illustrate exactly what Miley is doing here. You have Bruno Mars singing this deeply sad ballad of regret, lamenting that he should have bought his partner flowers, held her hand, and taken her to every party, because all she wanted to do was dance. But then, Miley flips every single one of those sentiments. She sings that she can buy herself flowers, hold her own hand, and take herself dancing. She completely inverts his themes of regret into this modern, incredibly catchy anthem of independence and self-reliance. Now, music experts will quickly point out that Flowers actually operates in a long, really rich tradition of what's known as an answer song. Think of how Lynyrd Skynyrd's Sweet Home Alabama was a direct response to Neil Young's Southern Man. Miley is borrowing the lyrical idea, the core concept, rather than directly sampling the actual audio or the melody of Bruno's recording. She's actively having a conversation with the original song.
Moving right along to clue number 2, the speed of sound. Because, as we all know, a song is far more than just its words. Before we can accurately compare them musically, we really need to understand tempo in plain terms. Basically, tempo is the heartbeat of a track. It dictates the energy and the physical reaction you have to the music. It's the difference between a song making you want to sit and cry in your bedroom versus getting up and dancing at a club. Bruno's track clocks in at a super slow 73 beats per minute. That sluggish heartbeat creates this stripped back, highly emotional, very traditional piano ballad. It just feels reflective, heavy, and totally drenched in sorrow.
But listen to the contrast. Miley's track hits the gas, accelerating massively to 118 beats per minute. By speeding up that heartbeat, the producers completely transformed the energy. Flowers is definitely not a piano ballad. It's a driving, mid-tempo disco funk groove, built around a punchy 4-on-the-floor kick drum. So even though the lyrics are referencing the same conceptual relationship, these tempos place the two songs in entirely different musical universes. Digging deeper into our forensic analysis brings us to clue number 3, the musical foundation. Let's look at the underlying architecture holding both of these songs together. We're talking about chord progressions here. Think of a chord progression like the floorboards of a track. It's the sturdy musical foundation that the singer gets to walk all over. And the Tempo Music lawsuit specifically alleges that these foundational patterns are illegally identical. Well, let's look at the facts. First, we have to acknowledge one major similarity right off the bat. It is totally true that both artists chose to paint their emotional landscapes using the exact same musical color palette, the key of C major. Sharing that same palette gives both tracks a subtly similar overarching mood when you first hear them. But honestly, sharing a key is incredibly common in pop music. What really matters is how those colors are actually applied. And here is where the lawsuit's argument gets really tested. When we map out the core chords side by side, we see a massive difference. Bruno's progression wanders. It takes you on this complex emotional journey, moving through A minor, C, D minor, G, shifting into a G7, back to C, and then a G over B. But Miley's, it's a highly repetitive 4-chord loop, just A minor, D minor, G, and C. It isn't a wandering emotional journey at all. It's a standard, steady pop-funk groove, designed to lock you in and keep you moving. So, the crucial point here is that yes, both songs happen to start on an A minor chord, but in the grand world of music theory, starting a sad or reflective song on A minor is incredibly common. It functions way more like a shared building block, like using a standard brick to build a house, than a stolen, unique musical fingerprint.
Beyond the basic chords and tempo, we also have to examine clue number 4, the slingshot effect. This is the unique production choice that gives Flowers its distinct swagger.
Miley's producers use this brilliant stop-time technique that music analysts call the slingshot effect. In your average pop song, when the big chorus hits, the instruments just slam down hard on the very first beat. But in Flowers, they drop everything into total dead silence on beat 1 of the chorus. It creates this sudden jarring vacuum of tension, literally like pulling back the string of a bow. And then they explosively unleash the bass line on beat 2. This rhythmically displaces the listener and gives the song the strutting, forward-leaning energy that completely subverts the traditional downbeat structure that Bruno Mars used.
So let's tally up our forensic findings so far. On paper, sure, the lyrics are clearly talking to each other. But musically, Bruno's track leans heavily on stripped-back piano, serious rhythmic complexity, and a soaring vocal range. Miley's track, on the other hand, is built on a propulsive bass line, a highly repetitive disco pop loop, and a super minimalist funk arrangement. As the music experts point out, the tempos, the structural complexity of the chords, and the sheer production vibe belong in totally different worlds.
Which finally brings us to the verdict. Is it a response or a ripoff? With the legal battle still unfolding, how does copyright law historically view these kinds of musical similarities? I mean, is having a musical conversation a crime?
Well, as this legal analysis from the Harvard Journal of Sports and Entertainment Law points out, Miley's legal team has a surprisingly strong defense. They could successfully argue that Flowers is a transformative parody or commentary. By flipping the entire perspective from male regret to female self-reliance, and pairing that with an upbeat disco funk tempo rather than a mournful piano, she isn't just copying. She's creating a wholly original piece of art with its own very distinctive message. As you weigh all the evidence we've covered in this explainer, I want to leave you with a final thought to debate. We've seen that the math, the precise tempos, and the chord progressions are actually quite different. But the thematic feeling and the lyrical echoes are undeniably linked. So, tell us, do we judge copyright by the rigid math written on the sheet music, or by the recognizable emotions echoing in our headphones? Let us know what you think the final verdict should be.